last year was the worst year I ever had in real estate as far as losing money. Excuse me. I lost in, I'm talking Section 8. I'm talking veteran housing. I'm talking regular tenants that were paying. People lost a lot of jobs, and they played with the system. I lost roughly probably about, I'm going to keep it real, maybe about almost $100,000.
Off of real estate?
Off of real estate, wow. Right? Because that comes from you having people play with the system.
Yeah.
People knew that, and they say landlord-friendly states. That didn't mean anything because the judge can give an eviction, but you need the sheriff to serve them. So I said, you know what? The areas are really going down. Even though the property value was going up in these areas, the tenant quality is going down. Tenants are losing jobs. People are losing jobs. AI is just literally getting rid of jobs. So my thing was I sold them because I realized areas that's heavily dependent on Uber drivers, cashiers, factory workers, like manual labor people, those are the people losing jobs. And I said, I don't want no parts of it. That made sense for me to sell those. And now I went on to buy properties that are multi-units, 20, 30 units, buying properties internationally, properties in Thailand, Bali, Dominican Republic, places like that, because that's the shift. So you got to understand and know when to pivot. Areas, I want everybody to look in your communities and think about this. And I said this before. We're going back to the 90s, bro. If you look at in LA, Figueroa, and in Brooklyn, we got women back on the street selling their bodies, bro. Like out there in the street in broad daylight. You got drugs. You got jobs, job loss. And I'm looking going, how are people not able to eat and they homeless, but right up the block there's a $20 million development, there's a $3 million building, there's a $1.7 million brownstone, all this, but you got the drugs, that's 90s. You got the women back out selling their bodies, that's 90s. You got the job loss, that's the 90s. But then again, you got this thing digital, crypto, all this stock, all this money all around. The difference between that and the 90s, back in the 90s, it was the dot-com boom era. Everybody was getting money. We was able to get money. See, now here's the same space, the same time. And I want y'all to look at these podcasts and other shows too, which I don't knock them. But here's the thing. What do you see most? Prize picks.
Facts.
DraftKings.
Facts. When
a community of people are in a decline, you start seeing promotion of drugs and gambling and alcohol. So they coming for us. And I said, you know what? I'm getting out of that space, B, because I already know the problem of what's going to happen with real estate. Look, I'm not telling nobody not to get in real estate. What I'm telling you is buy in high-quality areas where you're going to spend a lot more for a property, but get a lot better tenant, and you're going to pay more rent. But the objective is corporations is taking over the real estate space. And I'm not going to be too long-winded, but I want to try to have people understand. It's just like when gold, people were able to go out, dig for gold, go get gold, and then have money. But then corporations and the government stepped in and said, we're going to take your gold, and now we're going to give you paper tender. They control the gold. Just like oil. You used to be able to get some land, they would go dig for oil, find oil, and now their family had wealth. But who stepped in? Corporations, and said, no, we got the oil. Now, real estate's the same thing. Corporations come in and said, nope, we buying up everything, and we're going to make sure you can't afford it. They buying it all up at a price that they know in the future they're going to make money. If you look at all these high-rise buildings going up, they say for lease. Ain't nobody selling nothing no more. They locking it in like a commodity, like gold, oil, and real estate. There's going to be three things you're not going to be able to touch. You're going to be better off investing in REITs, real estate investment trusts, because real estate is going to be something unobtainable for this younger generation coming in.
And so I want to touch on that a little bit, though, because it's making a whole lot of sense. And I just want to clarify to hear correctly what you're saying. It's like all of the different ways that the things that had value, every time they increase in value, corporations or the government take those things over.
Well, they take it over because they knew that was our ticket to building wealth. People got rich off of the gold rush. People got rich off of the oil, the movie There Will Be Blood. we got rich. Our people got rich off of real estate. And they said, damn,
Now,
we just got to take it.
and it's funny because I'm looking at this article, a recent article that says there was a study by Georgia State University researchers, and they found that 3 corporations own more than 19,000 homes in Atlanta's 5 metro counties, right? And so they say that Atlanta has more of these properties than the next couple of metros combined, right? And so what it's sounding like, right? So you think 3 corporations, why do the corporations own 19,000 homes, right? And to your
Just Atlanta.
just Atlanta. So I'm just talking Metro Atlanta. And to your point, it's like, all right, bet I'm gonna buy these homes, right? I'm gonna buy these homes. If I'm a corporation, I'm gonna buy these homes at a price that I know that's gonna be competitive, that a regular seller can't really compete with me. I'm gonna give them above average, but like just like the regular investor, if you will, they're looking at maybe 5-10 years down the line, while the corporation is probably looking 20 years down the line.
They're not selling.
And you think about it, it's almost like a monopoly, if you will, right? Because I want to say, I think it was Chase or BlackRock bought 100,000.
Throughout the United States, last 5 years, they bought over 300,000 homes. And that's in the warm climates.
Right.
They didn't go to the cold climates yet. And I tell people, my thing is this. They didn't go to the cold climates yet because we didn't start doing renovations and fixing them yet. Like once we start fixing up Atlanta, Memphis, LA, Comptons, Bed-Stuys, and we went renovating all these neighborhoods, they said, thank you. I got it from here, yay. And now look, Detroit, Chicago, all these areas, we're renovating them. Don't you think they're going to come up there and go, thank you. We're going to buy from all of y'all who said we're going to fix up the blocks. And then they're going to take those. See what I mean? Because that's that thing, bro. When you're able to cut people's legs off and stop them from owning, and you got to think, it's not even us, it's our kids' kids. They are being trained to be renters. We grew up, we were groomed by our parents about, you better go own something. You better go own something. Because I heard my dad say it, and I went and bought something. But now you got kids now who parents are literally renters, and now they're not talking to them about renting. They're talking about how real estate's too high, houses cost too much. And that kid's growing up renting, so what he's going to do? Rent. He drive around, or he see signs that say for lease. He's going to become a renter. And once you control them and have them stuck, they have communities now, I want y'all to look this up, where they have forever leases, just whole communities built around rent, around leasing.
And it's funny because, so a couple of things, right? We'll unpack because number one, this thought process around, people, talking about like real estate. If I hear you correctly, the fix and flips are not even really helping us for real, right? So if you out here, saying, hey, fix and flip, you have actually an asset that's probably worth something. You're putting the money into that asset, making it nice. You're selling it to an investor who's probably going to give you some money. So you're going to make money one time on the short term. But the truth of the matter is that now you're taking that inventory is
It's never coming back.
never coming back.
It's never coming back. So I admire everybody who does the fix and flips, right? But my thing is, you just admit it. Like you're in this for capitalism. You're not going to buy a house and then order say, you know what, I'm going to take a $50K loss on it. Like I did 2 posts where I sold 2 of my property. I sold one to a young student, just got her a loan in Atlanta. I think it was called Acorn or Hope or something like that, one of them programs. And I did another one in I think Detroit. I said I'm selling 2 properties. And I'm going to break even, but I'm giving those to a family. I'm giving them to somebody because I'm going to just do my part. I made enough bread.